Let's learn about internet and the World Wide Web. So we usually tend to use the word internet and the World Wide Web interchangeably. In fact, they are both different things, okay, but they are related things. So let's try to understand. So suppose if you're working on a laptop and you want to search something, so you just put across a search key in the Google and you will be getting results. So what are you doing there? You are searching the World Wide Web, okay? You are asking the Google to find you information from the World Wide Web. So what is World Wide Web? It is nothing but a connection of different websites. Okay, so there is data in multiple servers across the world, and so much of data is residing in many of the servers. So all these websites are connected together through the World Wide Web. Okay, so that is World Wide Web is nothing but a vast collection of documents which are interconnected. Like if you visit a website and if you see a link, you just click on the link and it will take you to another page. Okay, so that means it is connected to another one. So this is called World Wide Web. So this was invented by Tim Berners-Lee in 1989. So he created a way to put websites together. Okay, so that is called the World Wide Web. Now, if that is World Wide Web, what is Internet? So internet is something which will allow this kind of connections between the websites. Okay, so that is mostly like connection between computers. So different computers which are residing in multiple places, they are connected together using the internet. So when it started in somewhere in 1969 when two computers at one university of in the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, and one in the SRI International in Menlo Park, California, they communicated with each other. Okay, and then what happened was after a long period of time, the scientists developed some method where they could connect many computers onto an internet platform, and they could talk to each other. Okay, so that is what is called internet. So it's nothing but a connection of computers. So the internet has now grown to consisting of billions of connected computers and devices all over the world. And now, as we have the IoT, Internet of Things coming up, there are many sensors which are putting in data, and there are many smart devices, security cameras, etc., which are connected together, and that is called Internet of Things. So, in short, Internet is nothing but a connection of computers across the globe, and World Wide Web is nothing but a way of putting together websites on the internet. So let me just quickly write it down for our reference. So internet and World Wide Web. Okay, so it's nothing but connection of computers. It's like billions and billions of computers across the world. Okay, so if I am connected to the Wi-Fi, my computer is also a part of the internet of computers. Okay, and then there's a World Wide Web, which is websites put together, which are put together so that they can talk to each other, or they can link with each other. Okay, it's also it's a vast collection of documents. So it's important to understand the difference of World Wide Web and internet, which will help you to understand the concept better. Okay, now how does these computers work? So these work with client server model. So what happens is whenever you have maybe this is your laptop and you are visiting a web page and you are doing a maybe Google search or something like that, or where you are visiting a website, this will become a client computer. Client means it is asking for information. So this client will ask the server. Server is will be a much bigger computer which has lot of information. So it will have all the information which is stored in the system. So the client will ask, okay, my user is asking some information about AI, so give me some information. So the server will search his database. Okay, it's a huge database, so it'll search his database, it'll find out all the documents which are related to AI, and it will send the information back. Okay, so this is how it works. Now when the client is asking the server for information, that is called the request, and when the server is giving the information back, that is called response. Okay, so this is called request response. method. Okay, now here this is a single client and a server communication, but in reality it is not the case. There will be multiple clients which are talking to the servers, and the internet is a place. So this request response happens directly via the internet. So this is internet. Okay, there will be multiple clients which will be talking, and there will be multiple servers which are available in the internet. Now, for this communication to happen between the client and the server, there need to be some protocol in place. Protocol in the sense it's the rules. Okay, the client should ask the information according to specific rules. So that is called communication protocol. Okay, so what is communication protocol? It is nothing but a set of rules describing how to transmit data. So it's like set of rules describing how to transmit data, okay, across the network. So the we when a client, okay, when a client like a laptop or is communicating with a server, there are multiple types of protocols which they work, or multiple types of communication which comes into picture. But currently what we are going to learn is a simple protocol which is called TCP. It's actually called a TCP IP protocol. So let's see how it works. Okay, the communication protocol which we have, let me just put it in a box sort of thing. So there are multiple layers for this. So this is nothing but the protocol layer. Okay, so the first layer what we have is application layer. This is where all the applications will reside. So maybe our Google Chrome or Edge or Safari or anything, any application or any other application which we need to communicate into the internet. And then the next one you have is transport protocol, and the third one is network protocol. I'll talk about all of these now, and the last one is physical layer. Okay, so let's start with the physical layer. So this is the normal protocol which we are going to work. So what is physical layer? Physical layer is nothing but the layer which the hardware system. So the hardware system which will allow us to communicate with the other system. So in our case, it is the laptop system as such that can be considered as a hardware, but it's just a client. Okay, client as such. And inside that, what you have is the Wi-Fi connectivity. So if you are connected to the Wi-Fi, that is very much required for you to talk to the internet, talk through the internet. Okay, and then you have a router in place, which is a mechanism with which we will connect to the internet. Okay, so we need to have a Wi-Fi and then a router so that it can connect to internet. So this is basically the physical layer. And then comes the network layer, where what happens in network layer. Okay, network layer is where it will decide which server it need to connect to. Like for example, if you have a server, okay, let me just write the server here. Server also will have application layer, transport layer, network layer, and physical layer. So the network layer is the place where it will decide, okay, it has to connect to this particular server, or maybe this is information which it requires, and all these things. And that is where it talks about the data packets and all. Okay, I will explain that data packets thing over here. But network layer is somewhere where we have internet protocol. So this is internet protocol. I'll explain this once again. And protocol. And the transport layer is where you have transmission control protocol. And application layer is where we have HTTP or HTTPS, which is hypertext transport protocol or hypertext transport protocol secure. Okay, so this is where you have all these things. Okay, so this is the server. Now let's try to understand how this works. Now in the client server, okay, this is the client system and this is the server system. So before we go into the details, I would like to explain how the client server works. So you have a client here, and you have the application layer, transport layer, network layer, and physical layer here. And same with server, you have all the 4 layers here. Okay, I'm not writing it, but I have all the 4 layers here. So what happens is the application from the client will ask for an information, and the information is passed down to the transport layer and the network layer, and it is transferred through the physical layer to the server, where the physical layer of the server will take that information here and will pass on to network layer, then transport layer, and the application layer. So here in the server side, the information passes up this side. Okay, so from the client side, from the application side, it goes down to the physical layer, and from the server side, from the physical layer, it passed on to the application. It does the manipulation of the data, and then it is sent back to the physical layer to the information on the. So this is the request what it is going. Okay, and the response comes from the application layer of the server to the physical layer, and it goes back, and from here maybe I'll just take in another color, so it will go back up to the application layer. So this is how the data works. Okay, now we are going back again to our protocol in place, where we have the application layer, where I mentioned that there is HTTP and HTTPS protocols. Okay, so what is HTTP protocol? It is nothing but a request response protocol, where it allows the client to issue a request for a resource, and the server will be responding with the right request and the data or the resources which is required. Okay, now HTTPS is nothing but a secure version of HTTP, because when the information is passed from the client to the server, it is encrypted. Okay, so technically we can see them, but as they are encrypted, we will not be able to read the data or understand what data is there. Now comes the second layer, which is the transport layer, and here the protocol is TCP. It's transmission control protocol. What is TCP? The TCP operates at the transport layer, ensuring that it is a binary information which is transported between computers. So what happens whenever the application is having some data, it will be there in the ASCII format, and that will be converted into a binary format in this layer, in the transport layer, and it is made ready for transmission. It is also broken up into packages. Like for example, if you have a binary source, it is just broken into different packages, 00100 and 0001110 or something like that. So it is broken into packages, and also it keep tracks of the information on these packages. Like there will be sequencing. So this is package number 1, this is package number 2. So the TCP keeps track of these packages so that it can be ready for transmission. Now comes the network layer, where we have the protocol IP. IP stands for Internet Protocols, and what happens? It handles the creation of the data packets and how they are transmitted around the network to their destination. So what happens is, these packets which the TCP made, it is taken here, and it will add some IP address to that. Okay, it appends the IP address which says that okay, this packet has to be sent to particular server. Okay, so that's that. Sorry. So that is what the IP address does. IP protocol does. So it has a code which identifies a computer network or a particular computer where this data packet has to go. So that is what it happens. So when it's for example, you can think of this as a post office, where it knows that okay, the postman, what he will do is, like, he will stamp it saying that okay, this letter has to go to Canada or something like that. Okay, now these two protocol, TCP and IP, are together. They usually, we call it together, we say that it works together, then that is called TCP IP protocol. So TCP, what it does is, it keeps track of the packets of information and make sure that they reach the server without any errors, and also in the correct order, etc. And IP, what it does is, it works with the creation of the packages, their addresses, their routing, etc. Okay, so that is what it does. And then you have the physical layer, where I said, which is you have the Wi-Fi, which we connect to the internet, and also you have the routers. Okay, now within the internet, you have certain things which you need to understand. So there is this is called internet hardware, where router is one such hardware. So what is a router? Router is nothing but it's a device which will forward data packets between computer networks. Like for example, if it will forward it from the home router to the external internet or things like that. And then you have something called gateway is something which will connect two networks that have different protocols. And then you have switches, which will forward data only to devices that they need to receive it, etc. And then you have something called repeaters, which is very much required to retrieve the data and retransmit it. This is because when the electrical signal pass over a certain length of a wire, it loses its energy. So there are repeaters which will boost the energy of the signals, and so that it can be transmitted over a long period of time. Okay, so this is basically about internet and the World Wide Web, and hope this was helpful.